And GM everyone, welcome back on the Decoder channels. Hopefully we are live. I will check that in a second. But good morning, Hermans. Happy to have you here. The whole team, the whole crew. Yeah, that's a big scene. Love it. That's cool.
We need an intro like that, man.
I know that got me going. That
it's pretty good.
I was ready, man, and it's Friday.
You want that shit to run for longer, right?
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah.
Okay. But Mitch, how are you doing?
Doing good,
GM.
man. GM
Nice.
to you, mate. Good afternoon. I'm in Manchester, the sunny Manchester. We got a bit of sunshine today, so we can't grumble.
For once?
Yeah, for once, man. Can't complain. How's things with you?
I was a little bit stressed like 10 seconds ago, but now it's getting better because I can see people slowly joining up, so it's cool, it's better. Lee, GM, how are you doing?
GM, yeah, good. If everyone who's just joining now missed Zeds with his top off, so if you're late, you miss out. You know what I mean? That's the alpha right there.
It's basically like missing out on a pre-sale. That.
Yeah. We've got an hour's space, so anything can happen in that time.
Ooh, pick it up.
It's going to be the first collection to successfully onboard women into the collection.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I want to know more about that. I can't wait for the first IRL events, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've got a few things cooking for that.
Okay, and GM test that's French accent. Zeds.
That's the
Zeds. That's
yeah.
all. And Zimbara, how are you doing, man? Since our tacos that we share in Amsterdam a few months ago.
That meal was good, bro. And you know that I was just on the spaces and I said that it was that meal and the conversation that we had about certain collections that I'm not gonna mention right now that motivate me to come back to Dubai and tell to these boys we should do something about it. And they were like, yeah, we want to cook this. And then this is how it started, man. So it's funny that we are here. Like we are all full circle, and it's true. We are really full circle. And
Did he really share the tacos, though, Vincent?
No, I had mine. He has his, and then
and Monkey Dow paid the bill. So shout out to Monkey Dow over there.
Play.
Yes, and that was a good one. That was a nice event. So, and looks like you're gonna do some nice events too, right? Among other things, and that's what.
I don't know if you saw the podcast. Sorry for interrupting you. I don't know if you saw the podcast, but we released a podcast about how we are building in public, and our master over here, Zeds, said that this was one of his massive ideas, and it was IRL events. So I think he's dominating
the man invented events.
Yeah, they definitely just cut a snippet out of that. But no, I think like for us, we like myself, Mitch, Lee as well as Zimbara. We do a lot of networking, and we're very, very social. And typically speaking, like a lot of NFT founders that I've met, and not too like social in the real life, although they very loud in the space. So I think that's something we can bring in. Like I think like in real life events is really where you build community and culture, and I think that's so strong. Like we've just been on a space right with a project Ugi, and one of the biggest they've been out like a year now, and the one thing that they always came back to was a specific event where the community manager did a worm NFT Paris. And typically speaking, when you speak to a lot of projects, the best times within those projects are where people are together and enjoying the in real life community, because it's one thing building relationships online, but they get so much stronger in the real life, and you really can make friends for life. So it's definitely going to be an integral part of what we do.
People really, really almost live off these events as well, right? And I think it's sometimes an oversight for a lot of projects. But like, for instance, me, I hold a mutant ape at the minute, and literally the only reason I'm holding that mutant ape is for the Yuga events, which are events that I still have to pay for anyway, which is crazy, really, if you come to think of it. So yeah, 100%. I think IRL events are a key focus for what we're going to be doing moving forward.
And why is that?
You get a refund on your ticket, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
pay
make you pay, dude. You just pay so that people don't grab up all the tickets and don't show up. Don't worry, dude. You get your money back as soon as you scan at Apefest. You're good. You're good. Man, these newbies, it's hard onboarding people. You know. That's what...
But
It's
that-
very
I need the
difficult,
money,
bro.
But why do you think those events are like so different than any fucking boring events we can go outside of this NFT world? And I don't
Because
know
people are synced in something, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone is there for a reason, and they have a motive to speak about. Like one thing that happens a lot in other events is, or you go for an artist and everybody knows their songs, and that's why they're there vibing all together. Or you go to a theater because you want to watch that piece, or something like this, right? What makes a social event of NFTs a little bit different? It's exactly that point of conversation. Everybody is there because they love something specific of that community, and I think that's the most important part, because when you have different verticals, we can talk about different things, right? And people will get along because of a specific thing. Like, for instance, myself, I really like trading cards. So every NFT group that has trading cards, I hold that NFT because I want to talk about that subject, right? And I know that community is strong in some point. So I think then going to an event and having this point of conversation already makes me more excited, because I know that I'm going to find nerds like me that like the same thing as me, and having this in real life connection is better. I like it more. Like, I don't mind. And even these videos, like we did the first streaming yesterday by video, and we really liked it. We were like, moving forward, we should do these more than even spaces, because we want people to see us, because we are the ones building it and we don't have anything to hide, and we are building in public. So this is so much better, because people can see who is actually behind it, and they can relate, they cannot relate, and they can understand more or understand less. So I think it's quite important, IRL events, though.
Yeah,
I think
well,
just
it also
just on
plays
that.
to. Sorry, guys, I was just going to jump in slightly on that, just to sort of back that up as well. It's about integrity, right? So I've been building Web2 side for years. The whole ethos around building communities with integrity, that's a line that I've carried through all the projects I've ever worked on. And the thing is that, like, you can build a community with integrity. You can go to an event where everyone's part of the same community, and some of those people might disagree with each other on certain things. But just going back to Zim's idea, from a musician point of view, you will get maxis on some songs who then don't like the new songs or whatever, but they're still there with a shared environment. And the whole thing, as long as you do it with integrity, then the IRL event side, it's super, super important for building those relationships.
Yeah, like I will remember, like, always, like the first time I went to a IRL event was like NFT Paris, like 2 years ago, with like the D-Gods and stuff. And it was like meeting your best friend for the first time after talking with each other for 2 years, right? And like the feeling was like, I never felt that. It sounds gay, but yeah, whatever. Feels that like that before, right? It was crazy, but it was cool. And even like girlfriends of like X Plus members, when we were in the dinners, had the same fucking like feelings that, yeah, it was. You don't know the guys, you never meet them, but like the connection was so strong. It's cool.
Yeah, like, but when I was in Dubai, like you'll know Brandon from D-Gods X, right? He was there with his girlfriend, and I was like, I've been leaving my missus at home for all of these events. Every time I go away to any of these conferences or whatever, anywhere, and I was like, oh, he's taking his girlfriend. I'll take my girlfriend. Anyway, he was speaking about NFTs. I've never seen my girlfriend be so interested in NFTs until another girl was speaking to her about it, and I thought, well, this is what it's all about, right?
And you didn't have your girlfriend before, but like now you have Zimbara, so it's the same, right?
He's literally like a bird,
He certainly moans
more
like
difficult than that.
Girl anyway.
He's like a girl, but
somebody needs to
emotional.
keep these boys working, because these guys only want IRL events, no work. That's why I need another boomer. That's why we brought Lee.
And how did you guys meet anyway?
Thanks.
How do we meet? So myself and Zeds have actually known each other for a long time. Coincidentally, my grandma used to live next door to Zeds, and she used to look after him when he was a kid. So there's a bit of crazy alpha for you.
That's
so yeah,
cute.
I used to play in the garden with Mitch when I was 8 years old. So it's been quite the journey.
He was a few years younger than me, believe it or not. So he was like my little Joey. He just don't know it because he don't remember still.
But we've Lee's from Manchester as well. We ended up. We ended up going for a coffee, myself, Mitch, and Lee, probably about 2 years ago now. Lee does an incredible job in Manchester. He's got 2 businesses. I'll let him talk on that in a minute. But he does a really good job putting on events and a lot on the social side of things. And he plays a really instrumental part in terms of bringing more limelight to NFTs in Manchester. So that's how we connected. And then Zimbara was someone I always really liked speaking to on Spaces. We had tons on Spaces, and he always had really insightful inputs. The first week I moved to Dubai around 7 or 8 months ago, and the first week I got there, I dropped Zimbara a message saying, "Oh, just landed in Dubai." He was like, "Right, let's meet tomorrow." We met at this bar. We ended up went and met this. Where was it now? The Timeout Market. We ended up having about 6 pints. Well, what was supposed to be like a quick hour meet ended up being 3 or 4 hours. And then he introduced me to the whole of Super Team over there, which was really like Super Team, which I'm wearing now. They basically are you familiar with Super Team and what they do?
Not exactly what they do, but I can see everywhere on the timeline. I talked to them in like a crossroad, and they want to onboard new people.
Exactly. It's like
that's exactly what they do.
Yeah,
all over the timeline. That's
they do. They bring builders, creators, content creators, community, and put on a load of different events. So Zimbara basically introduced me to a whole different network in Dubai. I did more events on the first 2 weeks I was there than I ever did in living in the UK for 3 or 4 years, which was in the space. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting stories how we all know each other.
That and that's why you like to work all together, because it makes sense. And
it's a good energy.
Yeah.
It's a good energy between us all, definitely.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And also, they sent me what they did originally, and so I forced my way in.
That's a funny story. Lee's branding company is fucking insane. Like, they've done so much good work.
Persona Studio, let's plug him.
Yeah, Persona Studio, and if anyone is looking for someone to do the branding, just check out Hermans. And yeah, basically
Web3, Web2, whatever they need.
Yeah, Zimbara and Mitch are quite branding maxis. Like we thought, let's just do it ourselves. We got some additional help, created something which at the time we thought, yeah, this works. And then we remembered about Lee and what he did, so we asked for his opinion on it, and he just hit us back with very, very straight and honest feedback, which was, this is not it. And he was like, give me 3 or 4 days, and came back and created 3 different branding for us, and we was all like that in the call, like, holy shit, this guy got it.
Yeah. And there's a message in there as well. Like, I think like one thing that we never will claim to do is be experts at everything that we do. I think like anyone who claims to be that's just an outright liar. And even though myself and Zimbara considered ourselves like design maxis and like we're interested in that kind of thing and well up in that kind of thing, we knew something was missing, didn't we, Zim, when we started putting everything together? And we was like, it was a process of like dropping our egos and saying, right, well, we know Lee does this kind of stuff. He creates experiences through branding, all that good stuff. So we dropped our ego and we was like, Lee, listen, we want to see what you could bring to the table. Mm-hmm. And yeah, these 3 different concepts that you brought to us, we were just like, the hardest part was choosing between 3, man.
And let's pass it to Lee for him to talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Firstly, I will say it isn't just me. I've got 30 staff, and they're all really fucking good. So credit where it's due. Like I'm the creative director, and I've been working. I mean, as Zim pointed out, I'm not quite a boomer, but I am in my 40s. So I'm not like I'm not as young as some of these handsome chaps. But I've got a team. They're great. We work on global brands. I mean, my background's been in branding for over 15 years now, and some of the stuff that we're working on, gaming studios and things like that, really good stuff. But for all these, certainly over the last 4 or so years, I've been bringing my team along on the Web3 ride as well, and getting everybody NFTs, dropping everybody crypto, and making sure that they're up to speed on this space. So when there's not that many actual brand studios around the world, even never mind in the UK, that that understand both sides of the spectrum, that understand this space. And the problem is for a group of people like these guys, if they're looking to work with a studio and they want to bring a project to life that has a brand that's going to stand the test of time for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years, whatever it's going to be, who do they go to, right? I mean, they go to a normal design agency, let's say a normal Web 2 brand studio or whatever. The first 4 meetings are explaining what crypto is. The next 4 meetings are trying to explain what an NFT is. You then get into, well, there's going to be an artist. We're going to do, like, it's wild. They would spend 2 months just trying to explain to them the last 5, 6 years or whatever. So, whereas with us, we had that ability to hit the ground running. But yeah, I mean, I think part of that and my other business, which is around building social communities, we've built up our own platforms, a couple of million followers and stuff like that. So I understand content as well. So for me, I'm trying to add value to these guys, as a professional component to the business, right? And that's what Mitch was alluding to before, like understanding where to spend your time and where to put your efforts in. And my role is, will come in stages, predominantly getting the brand to a place where it's recognizably a brand that people in the space are comfortable with, but also it's pushing the boundaries a bit. And also I know we're going to be able to hang our hat on it in the next sort of 5, 6 years.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I mean, it's a gem of a project to work on from us, especially when these guys just keep letting us cook. I mean, obviously it's surface level at the moment. Like what everybody's seeing is like it's teaser. Look, just like the art, just like everything, the brand itself, it's teaser at the moment. Like we're only just getting started. And it shows, like, honestly, the level of execution that you guys have.
Don't tell them too much.
Amazing. And Lee, like, okay, so you mentioned you onboarded your team into like Web3. So there was like non-crypto native, right? How do you do that internally? Like, what's the process to that?
Well, to be honest, it's just been quite organic over the last kind of, probably I'd say the last 3 or 4 years, but they've just been interested in what I'm doing. And also, let's be honest, right? Any of us who've also got, jobs. I mean, I know this is my company and my business or whatever. I'm still sat in the studio on Twitter all the time when I'm supposed to be working, buying stuff, doing stuff, minting stuff. Like, when this meeting room that I'm in now is booked out because it says Lee's got to mint something. They're like, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? So, it's happened over why is this is not a professional meeting? But anyway, so it's just happened over the years where I've basically said, like, they've got interested, I've told them, we've helped set up wallets, showed them, what I've been doing and explained them to them. And that's been it really. We bought loads of artwork for the studio, which I've then got physical prints of, but then I've shown them, this is our studio wallet. This is the stuff that we own,
That makes sense. But like, so do you... Okay. I have so many questions right now in my head. That's crazy.
If we've all got our heads down for a second, by the way,
me, though.
we've just received an absolute fire one through from the artist. So we've all got our heads down and we're like, we've been waiting on this for a little while. And
should I sneak peek it like this?
Wait. Can I put the focus on you? Okay, let me try something. No, yeah. Do it again.
No way. I'm not doing it.
If you're gonna do it quick.
No. It was a one-time thing.
I've not even seen it.
Oh, shit.
Honestly, though, just very quickly on this point, like,
it's so fire, man.
We brought in some of the best artists on Solana to like just do their thing with the Hermans and create these one-of-ones, and like we literally give them absolutely no spec whatsoever, because I feel like it's almost insulting to give an artist like a spec, because considering who we are and who they are. So we was like, just go and do your thing. Like, it needs to be a Herman in some form. It needs to hold identity. But apart from that, like, just let your imagination run wild. And honestly, it's paid dividends. These pieces are looking hella fire. So can't wait to show everyone.
And one point interesting on this, just to add, is like, beside our artists that are doing our collection, we got some renowned artists in Solana, and we got some up and coming artists. So because again, Be More Herman It's about we really want to include the community and give opportunity to our members on the community. Like you are on the 100 Club. So you saw my message today in the morning to everyone, right? So we already have 6 people of the 100 Club that are building stuff with us, and people they are missing out. So they just need to reach out, tell us the plan, and we will try to support you to build whatever dream it is. Of course, it's going to be powered by Hermans, but you do you. If you are taking the decision to take action and move forward into something, you're already being more Herman, and that's the idea that we want to pass, and that's the type of community and community members that we want to build.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm hyped. And thank you for the pre-sale links. That was banger.
By the way, the pre-sale is going to start soon for everyone, though. So people that are watching this, they don't need to be afraid that they lost out pre-sale. We just gave to the 100 Club as a test first, but the idea here is that everyone has access to pre-sale, and that's another of the things that we are doing.
Not everyone has access to pre-sale. Everyone has access. Everyone has access to apply
to everyone.
Just
have the ability to get it.
We're going to have literally like a mob of angry people in Discord saying, well, you thought you said it was for everyone. Everyone has access to get involved in the curation process for the opportunity to get it.
It's true. He's right. Look, guys, I always want to give everything away to everyone. Information, our stuff, our money, everything. So sorry for that. But yeah, that's the way.
So you will have an Herman list?
So we at the moment we run some initial collabs with like the best project DAOs, alpha groups across Solana, Ethereum, and Ordinals. We basically pushed a lot away because we didn't want to do too much of the Herman list. And then what comes next is the curation process, the application to the pre-sale. This is something I think is really, really important because, you know, when we're looking at the last few projects that have launched, you know, yes, they've built up an incredible amount of hype, which is great. But one thing they did is they just give the pre-sales to everyone and anyone. And our approach is, you know, fuck the cabal. That's our approach. It's like everyone should have access to the pre-sale, but we're doing it a whole different way. So we've built this curation process, and what it is, it's really, really, really simple for the end user. But it's a custom algorithm which we're looking at on-chain data. We didn't want to just limit that to Solana because a lot of people on Solana now with Ethereum, ordinal traders as well. So basically, we go to the website, and you'll connect your Matrica, so you don't even need to connect your wallet. We will look at your ordinals, Ethereum, Solana wallet, and look at specific metrics such as what NFTs do you hold, how long have you held those NFTs, how much volume have you traded, and we wanted to make sure that we look at both, you know, those traders who trade and those who collect, because they're both very important for any collection. Yeah. What that will do is in the matter of less than 10 seconds, it will give you a wallet score. So the way we're doing the pre-sale is the top X amount of wallets will have access to the pre-sale. We'll then do a guaranteed mint, and then we'll run a public sale because we want to bring that nostalgia feeling of having, you know, the launchpad open, multiple tabs, and trying to mint as fast as you can.
Yeah.
I would just want to add to that, Zed, as well, something else that I think was a bit more of the kind of human touch of it, if you will. All of us have spoken quite a bit in our chats around the people in the space that have, you know, effectively that have been doing either nice things or cool things or positive things, but they're not the people with the most followers. They're not the people with, you know, the biggest hype or whatever it is. You know, we were individually, you know, Mitch texted me one day and said, pick the five people that you'd volunteer forward off your Twitter account. And some of the people that I'm picking that, you know, they, you know, I've not got a big following and neither have they, but what they've been doing is, really, really positive within the communities that they're in. Right. And that soft data, you know, we've got the hard data side, scouring the chain and all that sort of stuff. The soft data of our lived experience over the last few years going, do you know what? This person in this community is really nice. They're just really good. So let's bring them in. Let's gift them. Let's do whatever.
We could have done the KOL route and, like we said, shipped a load of pre-sales out to the cabal or these big DAOs, but it lacks authenticity. And ultimately, we firmly believe, like, to take a project where you want it to go long term and to have solid secondary performance on the secondary market, there's individuals who literally spend day in, day out endorsing the projects they're involved in, shouting about it, shilling it, talking to the friends about it. These guys don't have, tens of thousands of followers on the most part, but these are the guys who seriously want to champion the project, want you to be successful, want to see it get to where it deserves to go. And we honestly believe that these individuals can help take the project there more than a KOL who's looking to get a load of pre-sale spots for a few endorsement posts.
Yeah.
But again, it can apply too. It can apply
Yeah.
to the Herman list. This KOL, this person can apply, can get the pre-sales too. If he gets to scoring, if he gets to scoring, he can get the pre-sales.
He's covering
if
us.
he can actually is passing, if he passes, no, it's true. Like in the end of the day, because this process is not to be excluding any type of person. It's exactly the opposite. We are trying to include the biggest amount of people, and we do want these KOLs on the project involved too. It's just the way that things are distributed that we found there is a problem on the Web3, and that's what we are trying to fix with this. And that's why I'm trying to develop a product that fixes this. And that's my point.
And like I think it comes down to as well, like if you want to be different in this space, then you have to do things differently. Like if you follow the same old process that everyone follows, then you're going to be in the exact same position as all of them has followed. And that's, the proof is in the pudding. Like let's have a look at any previous project and let's obviously bear in mind market conditions aren't great, and that's not the sole purpose of it. But
of course,
have a look at these projects. They're all in the exact same position. So we wanted to come in with a new approach. We wanted to do things differently. We wanted to show people we can ship these kind of products. Like we've got an exceptional dev team on, and one thing that we're also going to be looking at doing is, like Utes did a curation process, which I absolutely loved, and that was based on questions. Now that where we've took that a step further, and ask humans questions if they want something. A large proportion of those guys or people will lie. The beauty of the blockchain is, and we're using it to what it's designed for, is you can't lie. It's on the blockchain. That data is there. So that's something we wanted to include, and we've got like the ability to scale this actually out as a product, and we won't touch too much on that, but we have got plans for that in the background, and our devs are working hard.
That's awesome. So, okay, can you describe like the persona of like the Hermans that you want in your community? Like the perfect holder.
The perfect holder doesn't necessarily exist because we like diversity and inclusion. I think that's the first part. So like, I feel
you have a DEI office?
Yeah, the listening in. The perfect holder is a female with blonde hair and helicopter.
No, we told you.
Oh, sounds like my wife.
I'm loving all these guys out here acting like everyone's got girlfriends. Like, is that one of the metrics for onboarding? Like, so far, you're like, oh, I met some holders and their wives. I met some holders and their girlfriends. Who you fucking like?
Stage one of curation process. Do you have a girlfriend?
Stage one,
yes.
Do you have a girlfriend or partner?
Bye, ciao.
I think perfect. Let me just add this point. I think it's quick. Like, the perfect holder for our collection will be a person that wants to get involved and build something.
Okay.
And whatever that something means. Like, you want to help us put a thread out, you are perfect for this. You wanna just rep our little t-shirts or do something that we distributed to everyone, you can do that too. So it's just a person that wants to be present there. And he wants to hold the NFT because he likes the NFT, and he or she they're expecting to what they're going to receive is this value brand proposition that we are having. Yeah. Yes, they will receive way more stuff because we have a lot of things aligned, but the only reason why we don't compromise with the target or with the goal is just because every time you attach your NFT to a certain utility, to a certain tech, to a certain value proposition, your NFT gets attached to that forever. The idea here, it's almost finding this Yuga approach that like you get access to everything on the ecosystem if you hold a piece of it. Here, if you hold a piece of us, you're gonna have access to everything we're gonna do. So just join the ride and participate somehow. That's the perfect holder. It's not a profile thing, it's more of an attitude thing.
The long and short of it is we want good energy motherfuckers, don't we? And we will reciprocate that energy. I think that's exactly 100%. What we want to do. We talk about this narrative of like bringing back Solana, bringing back NFTs, like bring some energy and we will reciprocate that energy. Like I've got a little analogy that I like to use, which is like we want to approach this with the wisdom of people or veterans who've been around the space for a long time, but bring the energy of an 18-year-old kid who's just made his first 10x. Like that's the kind of like philosophy we're approaching this with.
I think as well, we have actually got we have actually got like a law and a message, because which is being on a higher frequency. And this is something personally, when myself, Mitch, and Zimbara, we was like, we all made the decision. Well, basically, let me tell you what being on a higher frequency means. It refers to, the mindset and perspective, like what fuels your fire, like chasing your dreams, that kind of messaging. And I think, with society today, like there's so much pressure on people. You've got to do this, you've got to go through college, you've got to go to uni, you've got to get all these good degrees. And Web3's just come along, and it's like completely the opposite of that. There is so much opportunity. And myself, Zimbara, and Mitch have all been through this personally. We worked corporate jobs. We made the decision to quit the, as the single, quit the 9 to 5 and go into the world of Web3. And it just doesn't just refer to like that 9 to 5 mentality. Like, we have someone on the 100 Club who's just moved back to his country. He's focusing on competing at a professional level at paddle. That is being on a higher frequency. That's the message that we want to instill. And I think it's a really, really powerful thing that can mean a lot of things to different people. And it's something that people can always refer back to.
That's the perfect holder. That's what I was going to say. That's it. It's someone who's operating at a higher frequency in any way, shape, or form, right? That's it. And also positive fucking attitude. Like, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a positive person. Like, I'm ever the optimist, and I feel like, positive affirmation in any way, shape, or form is good for the individual and good for the collective. So just fucking bring that.
Lee, when we sent you something you don't like, that was the opposite of positivity that we were sent.
Yeah, man. I don't remember this, Lee, at the time, bro.
Okay. Right. Just to share a bit of that, right, which is funny, right? You've got 3 project founders, right, who are very capable within their own right, who every time they drop something to me, there's this constant chat goes silent. It's like tumbleweed. The tumbleweed emoji just flies past, and they're all waiting as to whether I'm going to go parabolic or say, yeah, that's fine. But the thing is, that's what it brought me in to do. And I'm bullish, right? I'm consistently bullish. It's never bearish, Mitch, right? It's always bullish. And all it is to get it, like, it can go better. It can go bigger. It can be better.
You know what?
That's all it is.
100%. And we leverage on Lee as well. Like, oftentimes with anything that's like visual, if me and Zimbara, we usually got a pretty similar eye for what we like and what we don't like. But if there is ever a bit of friction or conflict, we just throw it to Lee to get the final verdict on there. And there's been a couple of times where Lee's not agreed with me, and I've been like, "Fuck you, Lee! I brought you into this. Go away."
And I'm always like, "You see, Lee told you.
Yeah.
Lee told you."
Yeah, Lee's right.
What happens is Zim loves the thumbs up emoji on like live streams and stuff like that. If we're ever doing a Zoom or something, all these thumbs just start coming up and doing stuff like.
But jokes aside, though, Vincent, this is an important thing. Like, we don't want yes men. Like, this is why we bring in the expertise of branding, like Lee, and we've got the devs that we've got, because we don't want yes men. And the only yes man that we've brought into the team is one of the devs, which is Andre, who's a hackathon winning dev. And the reason why he always says yes is because he just seems to be capable of doing everything. So he's an exception, man. We'll take a yes man in that format.
That's why you recognize like top A players for devs. Like, they don't know how to do shit, but they will figure it out. So they say yes to everything.
That's it. That is precisely it.
Everything is.
That's Andre, man.
Yeah. He's got a little quote that he uses, like, everything's possible. I just need the time or something along those lines.
And the money.
But no, and that's the thing. Like, we've got like the team, which we've probably not even announced that the full scope of the team, but we've basically brought in the best. Like, we've got Andre is our lead dev. We've got Distro, who is like an absolute giga brain as well. Not even he's by
Distro from Monkey DAO, no, Vincent? Sorry for interrupting you, Zeds, but Distro 0x Distro from Monkey DAO. He was having dinner with us on the table. Yeah. So he started as a friend, from a friend to advisor on the project, to now he's calling us and saying, "Yo, you should add this to the project because I think this is the way to go." So it's like,
calling the shots. But like, that's the thing. Like, it's like the one thing we always didn't want was we wanted a really diverse team who all add the value, and we can always count on them to do a specific thing. And we've got big plans for the project. What we won't do is not going to announce anything yet. We're just going to focus on what really matters, and that is, number one, absolutely sick PFP, which brings people in. Number two is, art brings people in. Community is what makes people stay, and then everything else will come as addition to that. And that's really why we've focused on our three main pillars, which is art, culture, and entertainment. And we can go into that in more detail.
Best art on Solana, best community on Solana, and best content in Solana. Sounds pretty good. Pretty simple. Pretty simple game plan, right?
Yes. Yeah. Nobody tried it before.
Facts. Might need to look at that one.
We could go to Cosmos and win. We could go to Cosmos and win, or to Atom and win. I know Ada. We could make Ada and win, but that's not the same thing, right?
If you need some introduction for bridge, like to bridge capacity, I can create some group chat if you want.
Has anyone done that yet?
Yeah. I got some contacts.
Are we going Polygon next?
Yeah. Do you want a grant? It's still available, man. But by the way, about that. Okay, so you're sitting with 3 years of experience with NFT and the ecosystem, etc., and at least 3 years, right? Where the project fucked up until now, from 21 to 24, what happened to the ecosystem, and what are you going to do better than everything that happened before?
Yeah, I'll take this first, and I think everyone will probably add something on. But for me, I just think NFTs became majorly overcomplicated in terms of what the value proposition was. By core, it should. People like artwork. Art has always been one of the main things without the world throughout the years. Create like a really unique PFP which people want to represent themselves with. And then form a really strong community where people want to come and speak to them and gain new friends and new relationships. Like, I think where we went wrong was, and this is probably mostly come from the community, they're always demanding more. Let's do this utility, let's do this and that, and really it doesn't provide any value. So we're focusing on the main pillars, which is embedded in our project. And I think everything else, like I said, is addition, is a bonus to that. So really just bringing it back to the basics, making NFTs simple again, making it bringing people in for the reasons which everyone likes them first of all. And I think a really good comparison is like meme coins. Like, look at meme coins. Meme coins are universally understood because they are what they are. Like, there's nothing else. There's not like, no, this is like this utility is that. They're just fun. They're engaging. Communities form around it. And I think NFTs have on the community building aspects, because you've got that JPEG, because you've got that animal, there is more of the community building for me on NFTs, which is why I always think they'll play a pivotal role.
And let's be honest as well, like, NFTs by concept are still relatively new, right? They're relatively fresh. And when something comes on the scene, there's always going to be that hype and that artifactual value of, oh my God, look at these new things that everyone's buying and the money goes up. And obviously cycles change, right? And I think like we're approaching a new cycle. We firmly believe Solana NFTs will be back. We want to be one of the spearheads in pioneering what Solana will look like on the NFT front over the next few years. And yeah, I think we're just going into a fresh cycle. So, we firmly believe NFTs will be back. What they look like, what the meta is, will constantly be changing, but let's see how it all plays out.
Nice.
I think I just want to add on what I think it went wrong is the difficulty of entry, because NFTs are supposed to be, and I still believe, even as meme coins, I believe that are one of the easiest way to onboard people to the Web3. That we are not looking to onboard people, but I'm just saying they're one of the best tools to do that. But when you start looking at all the protocols and you see PNFTs, CNFTs, SPL20, SPL404s, and programmable, whatever you want to call it, and then you can deleverage, then you can leverage, then you can do these. Look, in the end of the day, all of these complexity layers ended up being a problem for the user. And that's one of the friction. And if you create more friction, it's a problem. Yeah. And all the reasons why NFTs started to be popular are still some of the best reasons why NFTs are useful. And most of the use cases, like ownership rights, sharing something, a deed of a house, like everybody's forgetting all of these way on smart contracts, just on NFTs, just because of regulatory issues, or they cannot push it forward, or it's not the right timing. But the true cases on NFTs, in my opinion, keep being why they were created. All of this complexity that we put in the middle, yes, is useful, yes, it's cool, yes, we love to play around with it, but in the end of the day, the core principles are still the best, in my opinion, in this technology.
Yeah. As soon as we brought like liquidity to NFT, we were fucked.
I also think like the system's a little bit broken. Like NFTs by nature is supposed to be a liquid. All these points incentives, was the people are wash trading. We've just brought in all these different stuff to defeat the purpose of what NFT should be. So I think there's also some responsibilities from marketplaces to look at how they should be traded, and going back to the roots, because like these points, these incentives that users have got now, and not what NFTs are supposed to be about.
The problem is,
and the thing is, if you start with community, right? I mean, my 10 penneth on this, and I've got a lot of these boys know I am opinionated, if nothing else. But for me, effectively, function ended up following form. So like NFT started, and we all got in it like for communities, and they were cool, and we were like in crap discords, like chatting and bonding and doing all this stuff, right? And then what happened is that grew and grew and grew, and then and then the value appeared because the community had integrity and it was growing. So there was a value to be in that community. And then what happened is the value got so high that then loads of people started to try and copy the matrix, do it again. And then people forgot that the value wasn't the reason it started in the fucking first place. And what actually caused the value was the integrity of the community. So whilst I'm not saying we don't want it to, any project doesn't want to create something of value that brings value to their users. Of course it does, but the form has to follow the function, right? And you have to do it in the right way. Build the integrity, build a community that people want to be a part of, and it will end up being a profitable trade if that's the way you want to look at it. But everyone started going, how can I make a profitable trade? And that just killed it because there was no integrity in that. So obviously everything just went straight away.
Yeah.
So
Lee's absolutely hit the nail on the head there. I think like that is probably the best synopsis of like how we've gone full circle with this, and like 100% agree with that. And I think like it's easy to understand why it happens, because like Lee just mentioned, it's such a fast-paced industry. Everyone's pushing so much to get the market share and stuff like that. They're constantly trying to innovate stuff that's not necessary, and it's ended up being a detriment to the industry as a whole. So yeah, I understand why.
And I just want people to not think that we are being ingenious, because on this group, for instance, our wallets have a lot of NFTs and store a lot of value. So we pass through these communities. My wallet, for instance, when it was Sharkify, I was top 5 in the beginning and my airdrop was what it was. But what I mean with this is that we push volume ourselves. We support the space ourselves. And when we are giving this opinion, it's not from a spectator point of like looking from the outside in. No, we've been inside, we've been in the trenches. We see what we think is the problem. And now we are trying to take an approach that will try to solve this problem that we see. I don't know if we are right, but we definitely putting our name, our work, our time to do this, to see if we can actually bring these vibes back. That's the difference.
Yeah, and just again, like no startup project comes to an agency like mine. I just got to reiterate that. Like, it doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean? And yes, there's, I knew these boys before and that, but the integrity that they're bringing to the space with this project, to do it properly and to do it justice, the conversation was pretty easy. When I went back and said, in my professional opinion, this isn't going to do what you want it to do. To get it to do what you want it to do, we need to do this, this, and this. They didn't even hesitate. Now, if that's not a statement of intent, I don't know what is.
Yeah, no, 100%. And on the contrary, like, what's the industry is missing right now?
Some good fucking energy, man, for a start. I think that's one of the main things, like some good energy. Like, like me and Zimbara, I think Zimbara's just jumped on it because I like it, but we practice like stoicism, and like, I think like there's a lot that can be learned from that. Like, the market conditions are constantly going to be changing. We are in an industry where we're heavily dependent on the market conditions. But at the end of the day, unless you've got billions in a wallet that you can manipulate the market, like, what is the point in getting caught up about it? Just keep moving forward. Just keep working with the same energy. And I honestly believe, like, if everyone had that same mentality, the market maybe would change for the better. In fact, I know it would. So I think there's a lot that can be taken from that for starters. But you know what I mean? People are financially invested in these projects and these different investments that they make. So you can understand emotions run high. But yeah, a bit of stoicism, I think, would work a little bit for you.
But even not on NFTs, I think in the market in general right now, when we talk about big energy and nice energy, it's just, in my opinion, although I think it's very cool that we have memes, I made money out of memes, thanks Zeds. But my point here is that the vibes that were brought in by this casino meta, by generating a token every time, introducing liquidity, pumping a token just because I associate this with that, making an NFT because I go to Fiverr, I get some money for that, and I make an NFT to quickly scoop up $200,000-$300,000. All of these bad players, this bad intent, all of these casino meta that we had saturated to a point that if we that are on the trenches don't stand up and say we can do this different and we can actually make it happen, this is gonna die eventually. It's a dead meta in the end of the day if we keep going like this. Although it's all fun and games, the problem is the ones that are in the trenches, like the five of us, we understand that it's fun and games. We enter, we exit. Sometimes we get rugged because it is what it is, but we play around, but we know what we are facing. But someone that is coming from the outside, never knew, never saw, never know, he's going to be like, why do I want to get involved with this? So that's my point.
It's tricky as fuck, right? Because again, for the meme coin, right? Like people are saying like the 1000x that everyone is sharing on Twitter, then they want to participate, and then they think, okay, I'm gonna make my money like that. And then they look at their NFT portfolio, and then you done like 90%. So, oh, fuck, NFT is dead. But like then you're still building your NFT collection, etc. But like the whole attention is on the meme coin casino and pump.gun. It's hard. It's tough.
I'd also say, like, you know, I really enjoy meme coins. You know, we're not naive as founders. Like, they play such a significant role in culture, and I think NFT projects can learn a lot from meme coins. 100%. Like, it can learn a lot on that. And this is where we, like, one of our pillars is entertainment / culture. Right. And, you know, some of my favorite meme coins are the ones, and this is where you'll see them in, you know, these call is TG. What they'll always post is great content, really good community forming. Like, that is the certain metrics people look for. So that's why we've really, really focused on, right, okay, when we do mint, we've got a whole content strategy for one, to keep people engaged. Like, at the end of the day, your holders want something to engage with, something that makes them laugh. Something that will bring in more attention, more eyes, which will keep Hermans at the forefront. So we brought on an animation studio over 2 months ago, which cost a shitload of money. And for anyone who doesn't know as well, animations take 2 months just to build out the character. That's just something we wanted to do, bootstrapped, to make sure that when we do go to market, we've got a load of content. You know, we can do content with, you know, like specific means, tapping into all these communities. I think one thing that some NFT projects struggled with is they've completely ignored it, pushed it away as meme coins are such this bad thing, when in reality they're not. It's what people want, some people want, and it's what we can learn from the kind of content they're pushing out. That's something that will be a huge focus on Hermans, pushing this engaging content, memes, short form, long form, GIFs, giving community members something to engage with. So I think that's really an important aspect of what we wanted to do.
The collab was Luna Animation.
Even on this market.
Sorry. No, it was Luna Animation Studio, right?
Yeah, shout out to
Luna Animations.
Check these guys out if you haven't already. Just don't try and hire them because we've got exclusivity. But no, these guys are literally fully legit. Like, when we was actually going out to some different studios and approaching them, we came across Luna's work, and they're like globally accredited. They've won multiple awards, and we was like, this is good, man. They work with ESPN, they work with Lego, they work with Disney, Hermans, and startup in the NFT space. Are we really going to be able to lock them in? And we pitched them the idea and we showed them the characters and stuff like that. And they said, this is a really strong fucking character.
That's
Like I think it was a large part down to the expressions. Like when they looked at the expressions, it was like, they are very expressive. There's a lot we can do with this. And they actually noticed the IP potential, which for us was like, fucking hell. It was just that reassurance. Because you stay immersed in like building out the creative designs and stuff for so long. Like when you see fresh eyes of that nature as well, and they give you such strong feedback, you're like, this is fucking bullish.
Nice.
So yeah, 100%, man. Like shout out to Luna. I'm really looking forward to showing everyone what we've been working on and everyone seeing the release of these videos, man.
I'm hyped.
And that's the highlight that I wanted to do, actually. That is, if you notice on this conversation, is like we wanted to have a very good lore. Like we created this universe in our heads, and we, like, I still remember the first draft that we went to. Like if you see the first draft that we had of the NFT, you're gonna laugh. We're gonna share with everyone. But like we had this, and then one night we received a third draft from the artist. We sit down. We are in a call. Like it was me, Zeds, and Mitch. Actually, we had our girlfriends giving opinion and wives, so I'm just gonna state that again. I'm flexing it out.
Again.
These imaginary.
It is imaginary people.
They're like girlfriends, but you got to pay for them.
Yeah. Yeah, my wife would agree with that statement. But again, we had them to give us a different outlook, even more because they were not on the space, and to see if the character could match the expectations that we had. And they were like, this is not working. So we turned on my iPad and we were drawing, and like Mitch was like, just make the ears more like this. And Ross was like, oh, but the eyes, I don't like these eyes. And I was sketching, and again, I'm not an artist at all. But I was sketching to just like, I think we like this. And we send this to the artist, and like 1.5 days after, they come up with the result that you already guys saw the sneak peek, and we're like, okay, now we are in a good place. But this to say that although we give all this creative input, we get all the things together, we have all the story, we have all the glue to all of these. Again, that's why one of the reasons we wanted Lee here, like we bring people that add extreme value to us, and that they can actually build something with us, like Lee, like Lunar, like some other people that are already on the background building something with us, but we can just not say it yet. But they're all big names. They have big work. And why? Because we need to do a big thing on the Web3. That's what we are trying. Again, we're not saying that we're gonna make it, but we're gonna for sure try to make it.
Yes.
That's the
Let's
point.
go. That's what's up. Okay,
Let's go. Be more Hermans. Yeah.
Can I have more pre-sale, please?
And I promise if you buy him, we'll stop Zimbara doing that.
Yeah.
No way. No way. Never.
The next one is cameras, bro.
Yeah.
If you ask us to do a video space again, we'll say, can we do a normal one, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, we cannot put Zimbara on camera again. Yeah.
No, but
Well,
that's what
We're
gonna make a lot of view with you with Zimbara because like we can see you, so that's good for the viewership. 100%.
No, because look, I think one thing that I always try to bring to the table in the team, in the three of us, and one thing that I try to always say is like people buying to people. I really think that if you meet, and until now this has been happening, it's like, okay, you see our profile, you do this, you see whatever, and you create an idea and an expectation of us. Then you meet us on real life, and you realize that we are actually like that. And what we are telling you, it's what actually happens. And people get like, wow, because they're not used to this on the Web3. And that's fine, right? No. And that's fine. But that's the thing. Like we met, and you know that I was exactly like that on the dinner. So it's not like a persona or something. And this is, I think this is one of the biggest problem on the Web3 right now. That is the lack of transparency. And that's why we try to bring the transparency. And that's why the project community, again, we can be talking about hours about this, but it's like a dog after his tail, because it all centers about the same thing: people, community, and we can push this forward if we put great talent together. It's so simple, right? Why we overcomplicate things, I don't know.
Yeah. We're still trying to find a nice blueprint that can last for 10 years, right? And it's fucking hard to do. But yeah, with the team like that, the team that you have right now, all of you guys, team is based 100%. I love it. That's why I'm bullish, and I like to bet on team. So send me more pre-sale links.
I think like one of the things is one really important thing is you got to have fun while doing this shit. Like it's a very, very demanding and we're starting to understand that and fair play to a lot of these founders, especially the ones who are still here after years and trying new shit. You've got to have fun, and we want to show that. We want to bring that energy into it. We want to do things a little bit different. We'll be held accountable. We build in public. We're doing all these podcasts, these video spaces, all pre-mint, to show people the reasons why we started to create the project, what it means for us, the decisions. And I think that's very important. We just want to set, expectations. We want to show people, we've been working on this a long, long time. We put all this thought into it. The attention to detail has been crazy. And we're ready to bring something new, something fresh, and do things the right way.
Something raw and honest as well. Like we say, we're not shy of showing our mistakes and stuff like that. And like Zimbara said, people buy into people. If you watch someone's journey and you watch someone struggle or go through adversity and come out the other side, it makes you more emotionally attached to the story. So we're not afraid to show that, we're not the most polished human beings in the world. We're not the most polished founders in the world, but we'll bring a certain level of energy. We hope everyone buys into, man.
I think the other thing as well, talking about
we're learning so much things.
I just want to say as well, talking about bringing something new and operating at a higher frequency. Everyone's been doing crypto boxing, right? And that's fine. But if you follow Mitch is bringing the fucking octagon, man. Yeah, this is
I've got a fight confirmed.
He's coming to the crypto fight night.
Yes,
crypto fight night in London. I'm fighting. I'm going to represent Hermans Crypto Fight Night, June. I think it's June the 15th. O2 Arena, though, by the way. How sick's that going to be? That'll be a once in a lifetime opportunity, or maybe not. Maybe if I do smash it, I'll be fighting there.
People are not training, right? So it will be easy for you.
We'll see.
We've asked if he can be partnered with against Ansem, so hopefully that comes through.
Because that was an easy win, bro.
Yeah.
But no, the guy's pretty good. Apparently, on fighting. Apparently, he's done a bit. He's an actual boxer rather than an influencer. So we'll see. Should be a good fight. Super welterweight fight of the night, apparently. So
could be different for once. That would be I didn't understand Ansem move. What's you don't get paid. You get humiliated in front of thousands or hundreds of people, whatever.
Bro,
why?
He bet against himself. Let's be honest. Surely,
anything for a few likes.
He dropped.
Really?
Exactly.
He dropped a few bags on. Is it called Barney? He dropped a few bags on Barney to win. He must have, man.
It was I swear it was like a 5-1. 100 grand on that.
We were there. You cannot imagine. It was terrible. We were there. We were sitting there. We waited to watch it, and we were like, "What the fuck was this, bro?"
I don't know why you're pretending you could see by that point, Zimbara. You did about 17 pints.
Yeah, I recall that I didn't get invited on that night, but never mind.
Well, we was in Dubai actually, Lee, so it would have been a bit of a mooch.
A stretch for you, man.
Okay, last question. Fuck, it already 1 hour. Okay. Oh shit, we already damn. Oh yeah, because I started too long. Can I ask you something? Last question. Do we have time?
Yeah, man. Fire away.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Go. So, for the NFT event and stuff, we talk about it's nice because we are all connected, all together, right? But what we want is also what people want. I don't really want that. Is mass adoption. How do you adapt mass adoption with the concept of crypto NFTs events with nerds? How does that work?
Events, I'd say events is a difficult way to get adoption. But I think a large part of what we're doing with the content plan, the content strategy is pushing for mass adoption. Like when Zed's mentioned before about the 3D animations we're doing, a lot of what we're doing is because we've got so much volume that we can create with these animations, we'll be tapping into the internet culture and recreating these famous memes and videos that people see. And it just allows you to create that virality effect, because if you and your friends laugh about a meme and then you see a recreation of it with a Herman in 3D, you're like, there's that meme we laughed about. And then you send it to your pals and you want to share it. So I think that's definitely one of the routes that we're pushing for this whole mass adoption thing. But I also think it's important not to get caught up in that too much as well.
Yeah. I think it's all about the pillars and the, sorry guys, it's I mean, look, it's about the approach, right? And at the end of the day, are culture, community, like they are not a Web3 thing. They are a thing, right? That anybody can get on board with. So if you're putting an event on, and when we're going to be putting events on, and you know, I've got something cooking for next year where actually 1,000 of the tickets are going to my Web2 audience that are interested in art and music and just culture in general. And it's not, you know, the NFT is, you know, it's the technology. It's there. It's you know, it sits behind something. Just don't force it at the start. That's the way. It's about building an art community and a culture piece. When you're talking specifically about onboarding, right? As far as everybody else who's already in the space, like, yeah, forget everything I just said. But for onboarding specifically, it's about creating something that somebody wants to go to, whether or not they know that it's about NFTs or, you know, or whatever. It's about fostering a sense of art and culture and community, something that people want to get involved in.
Yeah. And I think just on like the content side of thing, I think one of the ways to get mass adoption is to completely have a different approach to it. We're not like trying to force the NFTs or anything like that onto people, and this is a long-term strategy for what we're doing with the content. You know, when we were refraining from using the word IP, because again, I think people will run off and get scared because, number one, you know, it takes a long time. Number two, you know, it's not really what holders particularly want or provides value to them at that specific time. So we're very Web3 on the forefront. But what we can do with the IP, with the animation studio, is cross-platform content, building out our whole Herman universe where people can enter in the universe which is not specifically tied to an NFT, whether that be grabbing something off the shelf, whether that be reading something. Like, we've got a really well structured long-term strategy of how we can build the IP around Hermans for the mass market, which doesn't necessarily tie back to the NFT. And I think that's one of our approaches, how we're going to take it.
And there is it ties back to the NFT.
It always ties back to the NFT. But you know what you're not going to do is, and this is the actual character design of the Herman. Even like the traits we've used, right? It all comes down to being an all ages brand. You know, whether you're showing your 15-year-old daughter or 65-year-old granddad, there is going to be something that they will like, whether it's in the attributes or the actual characters, or whether it's the personalities of the specific NFTs we use in the animation. This goes into quite a lot of depth, but the animations and the characters we'll use have all got distinctive personalities, which is very, very you know, whatever friendship group you're in, you'll have someone that is the same as them. And we've not really touched on it yet, but we will bring it out in the short future. But it's about, you know, being able to people to fall in love with those particular characters, understand the personalities. Like when you watch your favorite TV show, you understand the narrative behind it, but you also fall in love with specific characters, and that's something that we're really going to be focusing on. We've not really touched on that as of yet, but we will in the not so distant future.
Because this is what it means, building a brand and IP on the real world. The problem is on the Web3, you have 2 or 3 examples of people that are actually doing the same because they know what they are doing. Yeah. Everyone else, and this is why IP is so like, people hate it on Web3. People hate it because they were never spoon-fed what actually IP is. They never lived through it. They never understand what that's supposed to be, how it's supposed to be, you know? Like, that's why Pokemon today, it's what it is 25 years after, right? Like, what are you talking about? Sorry, everybody, because I love Pokemon.
If I had a fucking pound for every time Zimbara spoke about Pokemon.
No, but you get what I mean. Like one of the IPs that is more profitable ever is Hello Kitty.
No.
Wow, right? And people would not even bear in mind that. So it's just the way things are done. Like, I think the only ones in the game that are doing something as good as this is Pudgy Penguins, Azuki in their own ways. Pudgy Penguins, Azukis, and Claynosaurs in Solana. But beside this, building IP as IP, we had a lost opportunity with OK Bears, but building IP as IP, only these other 3 projects, you know? So we hope that what we're going to deliver and this experience that we are bringing is going to be at that level or a superior level. That's what.
And just before we move on like that, I think really the important thing is like to get outside the echo chamber. You need to get outside and appeal to different markets. You've got to get outside the echo chamber of X. Not one of my Web2 friends use X as a platform. You know, what did they use? They used TikTok and Instagram. So, you know, and I think those projects who've trialed it with a real strategy and the way they distribute content, bringing on experienced teams who build out these social media accounts, they've had such great success in doing it. And the opportunities that open for whatever route you want to go down is massive. And that's how you get mass appeal.
And I think like the reason why so many projects overlook it is because there's no direct conversion, is there? It's like, all right, well, we'll appeal to these on different platforms who aren't involved in Web3, but how do we get them to buy our NFT straight away? And it's like, it's a more long-winded approach.
Tricky, yeah.
Zim, you mentioned a couple of projects there, Zim. I just want to chuck in the boys Chimpers as well, because it's similar sort of thing, like the Instagram.
Chimpers, no, man, I love Insight.
Mate, I mean, you know, what those boys are doing is insane. Like, and the thing is, that's it. They got out of exactly what Zed said. Got out of the echo chamber, got off X, got on Instagram, got into the GIFs, got into, you know what I mean, and actually built, you know, and that's they're the learnings, right? You know, you said earlier what went wrong in the last 3 or 4 years or whatever. It almost doesn't matter. It's what you learn from it, and that's where these guys are at.
I picked Insight's brains on this as well. Insight's one of the founders of Chimpers, for anyone who doesn't know. And I was like, bro, like, you're smashing it. Because it's like him, Azuki, Pudgy Penguins, we were all rubbing shoulders in terms of like getting the most views on the Giphies and the content. And he was like, it's literally a volume game. He was like, you've got to have the volume there. So you've got to have a piece of content for every expression, every emotion, everything that people go through. Like, just double down on it, basically. And yeah, we hope, I'd say we more than hope, we expect to be the most content heavy project within Web3.
Let's go. Okay.
And to add to this, why other projects don't do it? Because they don't understand what is social media calendar. They don't understand what is planning. They don't understand the amount of work and people that you actually need to be able to produce the quantity necessary to do what Mitch just said. Like, people don't understand, like,
and
it's not one guy.
It's fucking expensive as well, right? People get the quote through and they're like, fuck that.
But are you going to send Zimbara on TikTok then to dance and stuff like that? That's gonna be cheap,
bro,
man.
I will do the dances and you're gonna see, man.
That's 1 billion views, man.
One all the way, bro.
Well, I mean, like that guy. You've ever seen that guy who like straps stuff to his nipples and stuff and like whips the cloth off the table?
That's
I could do it, bro.
I could imagine you doing that.
You do everything for the piece of content, bro. It is what it is.
There's so many different ways of content. Like, we're not just going to be doing like the animation studio. Like, it's like team events, like doing like, I don't know, we've got a load of ideas for this, but like one example was really good. Like, I've just been on this space with Ugi. Ugi, you know, launched last year. It created so much noise. Really good, you know, solid project, and they came back to like what people remember him for was one thing they did, which was a chili eating contest. Like, it's those kind of experiences and where your community gets together and they're laughing, and those kind of content which people remember, and they have such an impact. So content can be in so many different forms, and luckily for us, it's something that, because we've thought about it, because we've got the infrastructure in place, we're going to be attacking extremely heavy. So, and also working a lot with content creators. We've got some really big plans with Super Team, with ourselves to, you know, tap into these guys, not only giving them access to earning opportunities, which is obviously very, very important for these guys, but actually giving them access to resources and tools to actually improve the craft. You know, it's one thing that paying these guys, but a lot of these guys work 9 to 5s, got to go home, record a video, then edit the video, then publish it. Like, there's so much. Like, 2 years ago, the kind of Web3 content we saw was so bad. Like, was like the quality, all that kind of stuff. It's improved massively, and we want to be helping people to actually improve that and work with these guys too.
Let's game.
And on the content verticals, I just have to say something that is like, don't forget that our brand is done by Lee. It's very versatile on the aspect that we have Hermans. We have Hermans C, that is our registration appointment. We have Hermans Club. We have Hermans Labs. We have Hermans, I'm not going to say more alpha today, but we have a lot of Hermans something else. And the brand all lives based on Hermans. Like, that's the big umbrella, right? But then we have these verticals. And again, the advantage of us to be 3 and then to bring experienced people like Lee on board is that we can push more things at the same time faster and just trust the process. Because the problem sometimes you cannot trust the people that you are working with sometimes because they're new, or you don't know how things are going, or you never had a relationship with this person. But when you bring this kind of people on board and everybody is incentivized the same way, you can trust that the things and the verticals that person is working is going to align with everything else. And that's why, luckily, we've been so lucky with all of these. But it's not luck. In the end of the day, it's actually hard work and the right people at the right time.
Yeah. That's banker, man. That hire me, please.
I don't know if you fit the profile.
Bro, actually, can I just say this? Like, shout out to all the other hosts who've had us on as well. But probably my favorite video space to date, by the way, Vincent. So flowers to you as well, mate. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, big fan, man.
I can turn the camera and show the message because Mitch dropped a message on the group saying, "I like this guy. Vincent is doing a great job." So
no homo.
It's true.
Why?
We're gonna get cancelled, bro.
But
all homo. We're all in
But guys, thank you so much. That was best. We need an episode 2 and episode 3. When mint?
We haven't locked in a specific date. We've not locked in a specific date. I think Zimbabwe just makes things up. But we've locked in Launchpad. We're pretty much everything ready. We just the next thing from our side is the curation, which or the application to pre-sell this whole new process, which will hopefully be ready in maybe 7 to 10 days. And then once we get that going and start pushing the phases, the mint will be very fast after. So yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled for that curation process going live, by the way. Anyone who wants to get involved in the pre-sale, you'll start seeing it all over the feed soon. First of its kind. We hope you all love it. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we want the Hermans to be active. So yeah, be active. You will find all of the links in the description of the video once I will edit it properly because technical difficulties, but it will all be here. Follow everyone. Follow the Hermans accounts. Do you guys have any takeaways for the people that watch these streams? Yeah.
Be more Herman.
Yes. Lee?
Yeah.
Same, man. Operate on a higher frequency.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Zeds?
I hope you guys liked what you've heard. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But no, in all serious, come and join us. Come and see what it's all about. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up, and be more Herman.
Nice. And Zim? When tacos?
Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Everyone is invited.
Nice.
And everyone that watches this stream can come up to me. I get you a drink.
Ooh.
Be more Herman.
Ooh. That will make me come to Singapore.
Let's go. I said one.
Yeah.
Come on.
First time for everything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Short arms, long pockets, that man.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go. And guys, thank you so much for the hours. That was great. Sorry again for the difficulties. Everyone who technical difficulties. Everyone on the chat. I already said everything. Okay. Follow everyone. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week for the next streams. Bye,
Vincent,
everyone.
thank you very much, mate.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Vincent. Cheers, man.
Guys.
And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We'll see you in the next one. But before that, make sure to subscribe, like, and share.